Hello, everyone. My name is David Burdett. I'm the lead editor with Gamingtrend.com, and we are here today to talk with Martin from Second Law Games about his game, Self Simulated. I've actually got it right here.
Hell
This thing's
yeah.
pretty awesome. How are you doing today, Martin?
Thank you. I'm doing fine, and I really appreciate you taking your time to talk with me.
Yes, for sure. So, first off, tell me about Martin. Tell me about yourself and kind of your journey, what led you to get into game development.
Oh, all right. Yeah, well, I'm Martin. I'm from Germany, and I'm usually like by day, my normal day job is a freelance web developer, front-end web developer. So I'm doing this since over 10 years now, but I also do many other things. And yeah, I kind of stumbled into game development almost by accident. Some years ago, I wanted to make my new portfolio website to show the world, hey, I'm still there, and try to apply for like web design awards and things like that. So I built a website showcasing a big fat EMG Game Boy, like the big old gray one, which I grew up with. And yeah, then I stumbled upon GB Studio, which I didn't knew before, and I haven't done any like game dev whatsoever before. So I guess my journey started in what was it, 2021, I think. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, so I got used to the software, built a little like playable portfolio, a little world kind of similar looking to Pokemon or Zelda, where you go around and basically, yeah, find out stuff about myself, like what I did at that time. Most of it is already like obsolete. I don't do it anymore. Like drone flying, I made drone videos with FPV drones and stuff like that at that time. So yeah, and that's how I went into game development, I guess. And after I did this, I really don't want to say it's a real proper game, but yeah, I eventually even made my own physical release of it, so I went all the way. And but when this was over and done and finished, I was like, okay, now I have all the skills to like make games, at least for the Game Boy and Game Boy Color. So I really want to go and make my first real game, and then I started working on Self Simulated.
Awesome. So obviously, this is just you. Lots of other places or a lot of other you got people to collaborate with and whatnot. What are some of the challenges that you find being a solo dev with trying to? I mean, I know you're saying like it's not a huge game or whatnot like that, but there's still challenges to being the only person in the room.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, but I do have to like point out that I worked with a pixel artist named
Awesome.
Tubit Crook, and also a musician, BeatScribe. The BeatScribe did all the music, all the sound effects for the game for Self Simulated. I taught myself how to do it before it, and then just found out, okay, that's not it wasn't fun for me. So I wanted to have someone to work with. And I also had to learn like pixel art that I never did that before as well. And so I knew I needed help. So Two Bit Crook actually established the whole look of the game. Uh, yeah, kind of established it. And it was more like I would describe or send him a picture of something that could turn out to be a boss or something like that, and then he would do like many of the groundwork, so I can pick this up and learn a bit of pixel art myself, and then finish the stuff. So I built the game myself completely, like by myself, but I wouldn't like call myself a solo dev on this project at least. But yeah, the challenges actually were like learning all the things like pixel art and all that stuff. That was quite the huge learning curve, and also I covered myself with all videos and audiobooks and articles and tutorials I could find about game development, like everything I could gather. I watched the whole internet empty. Um, yeah, to basically get a sense of how to make games.
Awesome. So obviously your big game right now is self-simulated. So tell me about that game. I want to know. I know we're gonna have a lot of viewers in here. They don't know about self-simulated. Tell me about that.
Sure. So self-simulated is a precise action platformer. So kind of, or my main inspiration was Celeste and Katana Zero. Like I wanted to have it feel like a mix of both. And yeah, the story is, I mean, it's not the most story-driven or story-heavy game, so it's really more about the mechanics and the controls and yeah, getting through the levels. But the story of the game is you, like everyone who plays the game, plays as themselves. So there's no like main character. You are the main character, and you had an accident, and your mind was uploaded and backupped and saved, and then transformed into a robot, like a humanoid robot. And the the memory of what actually happened to you is kind of locked behind a code, and you are instructed by an AI of this facility in that you wake up with your new robot body to synchronize with your new robot body and therefore remember the code that unlocks the memory of what has happened. So, and then weird stuff starts to
Cool.
happen.
So you said precise action platformer. So tell me what that means specifically.
Yeah, exactly. So the precise platformer part is I tried really hard to make this Game Boy Color game. I mean, it's a real Game Boy Color game, and if we think back to things like Super Mario Land 1 or 2 or similar games, the controls weren't that like snappy or you always had the feeling like Mario is sliding on ice.
Yeah.
And I tried really hard to make the controls feel really more like a modern platformer, things like Celeste, Super Meat Boy, where you have really the feeling of full control over your player. And the action platformer is because you are also fighting against other robots, which is done in a one like kill. It's not. I call it reboot, or you deactivate other robots, or you get rebooted. You don't get killed or kill the other robots because I wanted to make it kids friendly. And yeah, so you have to like fight against other robots.
Okay. So handheld gaming, we know it's becoming much more advanced than what we grew up with, because I know we had our conversation about we both grew up with the old gray Game Boy.
Yeah.
Now we've got full on handheld PCs that are out there. So I know that this is more of a recent journey, so that's part of it. But why make something for the Game Boy, the Chromatic, especially they're publishing your game, which is awesome. Love the Chromatic, one of my
Yes.
favorite handheld machines. Why make something for that as opposed to like the Steam Decks, the Legion Goes, all these kind of whatnot?
Yeah. Good question. Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, I can't do anything else. Just to be straight up honest, I mean, I learned how to use GB Studio, and that's it. I of course I way back, like some years back, I tried to get into things like all the other engines that were popular at that time, but the learning curve and also like what to do with it was a bit off-putting for me at that
Okay.
point. And the Game Boy or Game Boy Color is forcing you with all of their limitations, because it really it has so much limitations. You can't just do everything you know from other games, be it like just how many sprites or things you can have in one line, or how many things there are can go on the screen at once and stuff like that. So these limitations actually helped me way more than any engine that would give me all the things and then would left me with like, okay, what to do and in which style, and oh my god, so like too many options aren't always the best thing. So yeah, that's the part why I went with that, and probably will stick to that in the foreseeable future as well. But you can also like export it for things like the Steam Deck and stuff like that. There are options for that.
Cool. Yeah. So it's almost, it's kind of like it, your limitations match up perfectly with its limitations to a degree, is kind of a way to look at it. Not that you're limited, but I understand as someone who, when I'm learning something, I don't need a lot of external extras to try to fit in my brain.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
exactly.
awesome. That's awesome. I've noticed looking around that it looks like some of the speedrun community have picked up self-simulated. Everybody's trying to finish it really quickly and try to do that. Was that always your intent, or is this just kind of a bonus extra that you've come across?
Right. So that developed while I was developing the game, or the idea came up to open it up when I introduced the assist settings, which I wanted to have other people, yeah, to so that other people can play, or all people can play the game in the difficulty they are good with. Or feel good with. There was also then the idea of like, okay, could I do this with speedrunning in mind? And yeah, that developed into certain mechanics and certain modes that just are speedrun mode or hardcore mode or insane mode. And yeah, so that's absolutely something I focused on towards the end of the development. And I recently had a speedrun event, which is probably where you found all the videos of people playing the game really, really fast, which was just one very small slice of the game, which can be played through in like a minute if you are really fast. And so yeah, the fastest of them all got a free chromatic and a copy of the game. So yeah.
Do you remember how fast the fastest person was?
Yeah, so I was able, like, I have an in-game timer in the game, which isn't it. It's not like it's not accurate to the time, but it's just the time that the game picks up. So it's a good countermeasure to, I don't know, someone could emulate the Game Boy a bit quicker than others and would have a really faster time, but the in-game timer is the in-game timer. So that is kind of helping. So I was able to get through this thing in the in-game time of, what was it, 25 seconds or
Wow.
something like that, which translates roughly to a minute and a half or something like that. And I maybe it was 35. I don't even remember anymore, but it was okay. Like for me as the game developer, it was all right. And someone just knocked it out of the park with like 19 points
Oh
something,
wow.
which was, and he found one hidden shortcut, which I put plenty in the game, and also in one of those snippets for the speedrun event. And he also used a bug to traverse faster and stuff like that. It was just great. It was really just great to see how they abuse the system, like the speedrun way.
Understand. Yeah, no, I've I've talked with developers at some of these different things, and when I've been playing a game and listening, oh, you did that, huh?
Yeah.
So it's always fun to see the developer side of just what they're looking at when people do things with
Yeah.
their game,
Yeah.
especially that maybe you wouldn't have expected. It's like, oh, so someone could do that with my game.
It's really lovely and also exciting to see how people play your game. I mean, I started playtesting with people very, very early and made it a regular thing throughout the whole development process, which like took 2.5 years. And every time I saw some footage of someone playing the stage of the game or something, it was like, why? And also like, how? And I didn't even what? It's like, and everyone plays it different. Like there was no consistency. Like everyone plays it completely different. And yeah, to learn that was actually very helpful. Um, and to see that was quite exciting. So you have to
Awesome.
be open about that and not be like, oh no, but I wanted to like have them play the game in this and this way.
Yeah. So how did you get connected with Mod Retro to be able to make this into a physical release?
Yeah. That was quite straightforward, actually. Like the whole process with Mod Retro is absolutely excellent. Like it's my first time, of course, my first game, and therefore my first time being published. But yeah, Chris, the head of publishing from Mod Retro, contacted me before Mod Retro even went public, like before
Mm.
anyone knew about it and stuff like that. So I knew him from other things from the community, and he probably saw early game footage of self-simulated and just contacted me and straight up asked me if I have a publisher and if I would be interested and stuff like that. And then we had some video calls because I wanted to get a better feeling of who I'm working with and stuff like that. And yeah, so we both had some meetings, video meetings, and talked a bit about what's coming and that Mod Retro will also do hardware and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, sounds cool. I have a good feeling with you, and let's do it. So, and then we went with it. And I didn't actually knew how big it would become. Like it was like, yeah, well, sounds cool.
Awesome. If you have a fun story from development, what one would you go with? I always like hearing like just when you're messing with stuff and just things happen maybe that you don't intend, but just fun, something fun from your development that happened.
Yeah, I think I have two fun facts. One is that over the course of the development, I always like worked on this laptop. I'm actually talking through you, through to you. So I always worked on this MacBook and brought it with me anywhere. So to every vacation I had at that time. So the game was actually developed in at least 7 countries, like Germany, of course, I'm from Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Ireland, Scotland, England, Norway, Denmark, whatever. So like anywhere where I went, I also worked a bit on this game, or maybe even way more than a bit sometimes. And the other fun fact is that my now wife, um, I I just asked her on a vacation. Like I was just sitting there designing some levels, and she asked if she could also design a level, and I was like, yeah, sure, but don't make it too difficult. And it turned out to be like one of the hellish levels
Oh
of the whole
no.
game. I had to turn down the difficulty quite a lot, but it's still like so difficult sometimes that even I turn on one or two cheats to get through it a bit quicker.
Oh goodness. So to end our conversation, I've got one more question. So what are your aspirations for a follow-up? And are we going to see self-simulated too, or do you want to work on something new?
Great question. So yeah, my plan at the moment, my current plan is to work on a prequel. And there will also be a sequel. Like I already have the name for it and the ideas, and they are all there. But now I only need like time,
Yeah.
pretty much of it. But yeah, the next project I'm working on, or I want to focus on, is a prequel to or a spin-off kind of prequel to Self-Simulated within the same universe, all the same, but which is completely playable by normal people without anything, but also for people with like complete blind, like legally
Wow.
blind people, and also completely blind people, where you have to really work with sound effects and maybe rumble feature and stuff like that. So that's something I want to tackle, at least. If it maybe it will not be a full-fledged game, but I want to go this way and treat it like and really try hard to make it a full-fledged game, so that yeah, people with visual impairments can also play this game.
Well, that's awesome. I definitely can't wait to see whatever you follow up with. If you will, take a second and tell everyone where they can follow you, where they can follow Second Law Games, like what they can check out.
Right, thank you. So yeah, if you want to buy Self-Simulated, then you can do that as a physical version, thank you, at modretro.com through their store. And you can basically follow me on Twitter or Blue Sky or Instagram. Yeah, Instagram as well. I do also have a TikTok account, but I really don't use it. And yeah, you will always find me under the Second Law Games tag. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Martin, for taking the time to talk with us about Self Simulated. Again, everyone, you can check that out at modretro.com. Pick up your own copy. It's not just for the Chromatic. You can buy it for the Game Boy that you have just sitting there. It will work for that. So make sure you go and check that out. And thanks for watching. I'm David Burdett, lead editor with Gamingtrend.com. You'll be able to check out our self-simulated review once I am out from under the pile of things that I have going on. I'm very much looking forward to playing and running through self-simulated. So thank you again, Martin, for spending some time with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.